Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we are live this morning. Good to have you with us on the Thursday morning. One more day, then it's a weekend. Beautiful day outside, a bit warm today, but that's just Houston during the pre-summer months. Okay, we've got a lot going on this next half hour. My co-host in this HCCTV studios this morning, Alberta, is here. Good to see Alberta.
Good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning to you. All right. So we've got, Alberta, a special thing. Before we get started, we're going to take a live look right now at our Central College campus. This is our new Culinary Arts Center for under the Center of Excellence under Consumer Arts. And you can see they've got a lot of people milling around there. From what we understand, they have a ribbon cutting ceremony. In Alberta, you know, they've had this brand new facility. It's a 2-story facility for our culinary arts students. There are bakeries inside there, kitchens. Wow. There's also a live streaming set where they can prepare food and go live on the internet while they're doing that. We haven't used that yet, but you can see a lot of folks getting their pictures taken now.
It's kind of like HCC's Food Network. That's really cool.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good idea. Yeah. We're hoping to get them involved in more live shows. They are very, very busy over there. Very busy. But they've got a ribbon cutting ceremony. It was put off because of COVID, but the building has been open for our students now for well over a year. But great day for them that they finally get to launch this new building, incredible facility for our culinary students. Okay, a lot to handle. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. We're hoping to do shows from there in the future, like a cooking show. You want to do a cooking show?
Yes, I'd love to cook.
Okay.
So many vegan recipes. That sounds great.
Well, you can have your own vegan cooking show. We can make it happen. Everything's a possibility around here. All right. Alberta, we want to thank everybody watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube this morning. We're live here every morning at 10 a.m. every weekday morning when HCC is in session. They can also watch us anytime in social media and on HCCTV.
Yes, you can. You can find us on HCC, Houston Community College District Facebook page and on YouTube Live. And you can also find us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and on Instagram, HCCTV at noon, 5, and at 10 p.m., Monday through Friday.
All right, Alberta, stick around because you're going to be interviewing this next guest. It's a very special day. We got a guest joining us from Huntsville State Park. John Herron is the park interpreter. Also, he's with the B.A.R.K Ranger is with him as well. John, good to see you. Let's see if we can get the microphone unmuted. Can we do it? Well, we've got a few technical difficulties. So, John, we'll get to you. There we go.
Hi, I'm sorry. Little technical difficulties there. Right. Went out here in the woods. But yes, I'm here with B.A.R.K Ranger Queso.
B.A.R.K Ranger Queso or Peso?
Queso.
Queso.
It's a awesome. Cheesy name, I know.
It's awesome. And Queso's a puppy, right?
Yes, he's going to be turning 1 next.
All right. Anything can happen. Anything can happen on the show. All right, folks, we are going to be checking in with John in a little while. Stick around, John. We'll be with you shortly. But first, we're going to take you out to HCC's Northwest College. They had a big celebration in the last few weeks. Dr. Kathleen Anzivino is with us. She's the college operations officer over at the Northwest College. And you guys had a big event with officially opening your new Katy campus with a ribbon cutting not that long ago.
We sure did, Todd. First, thanks for the invitation to join you all today. But yes, what a great event. Friday, May 6th. I have to admit, 24 hours out, I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to pull it off. The site was a little crazy with furniture install and construction, but we pulled it all together, and it was a red carpet kind of crowd with elected officials, the trustees, the chancellor's cabinet, our education partners were all out there. It was certainly a fun day to show off a great facility.
And you know, it was a fun day and you had a chance to show that facility, but I don't think people know everything that's really gone on over the last couple of years, because that construction, I imagine, was going on to the last minute to get all the final touches on the campus. And I know you're excited about everything that's offered there. Tell us a little bit about the structure itself.
Okay, sure. Well, first of all, it was a $55 million budget, and we're still under budget, which is always a good thing. 125,000 square feet. It's a 3-story building. Todd, we used a tilt wall construction process. This allowed us to keep our costs lower. It also allowed us to construct quicker and faster. And there's a lot of environmental friendly aspects of the tilt wall process. So it went well. It was a very fast process. We're still doing the last bit of the punch work items, and I'm sure we'll keep finding a few things. But we're mostly excited about our location, right across the street from the University of Houston and the University of Houston Victoria, the Katy campuses. So.
Yeah, you guys will have a partnership. It's home to the U of H HCC Engineering Academy. Tell us about how that's going, because I know, have you graduated your first class?
Well, the first cohort was fall 2020. So most of those students should be finished with their HCC work and what we call transition over to U of H full time. So that's that first cohort. And we've got our second cohort. Came in fall 2021, and they're busy getting ready to start their second year of programs. And our fall 2022 cohort is growing in size. And that's where they take their engineering course across the street with U of H, but they do their math, science, and their other core classes with us. So this new location is perfect for those students going back and forth.
Back to the location itself, talk to us about the classrooms and labs, and I understand you have a makerspace and digital lab as well.
Yeah, sure. So we've got 44 classroom spaces, five science labs out of the 44. 5 of those are science labs. We have 5 computer labs. We have a music lab. We have an art studio. We've got a horticulture lab also. And then we've got 31, we don't call them classrooms anymore. They are active learning spaces where the students will meet with their instructors for more formal type instruction. Right. And on the first floor, we have our makerspace and our art and design digital lab. That's where you'll find the 3D printers, the heat presses, hand tools, plotters, and so many tools that students can use for project-based learning. So these are equipment that they can't probably afford to have in their own home, but they can come to the spaces here at the Katy campus and work on projects and prototypes. They can be creative, innovate, and problem solve, which we think is so important.
Kathy, I know this project has been going on well before the pandemic, but because of the pandemic, we all look at things differently now. After we came out of the pandemic and you learned that maybe students were taking a lot more of their classes online, but they still like the hybrid of getting into the labs, did that affect the construction and the way you were designing this campus?
Well, Todd, we were too far in to really change too much post-COVID, but I'm happy to report that so much of what we did is going to become so much more valuable because of the COVID experience. So, Dr. Hodges is always ahead of the game on education. Yeah. And so, for example, we did not build a bookstore. We just couldn't dedicate that space and lose some of the educational space. But post-COVID, all of our students are ordering their books online, and those services aren't. So it's good that we dedicated the space we did the way we did.
Well, that makes sense. You're able to pivot some with your operations. You also have a learning commons and welcome centers. Tell us about those.
Yeah, let me tell you about the Welcome Center. We've got a one-stop shop. At most campuses, if you want enrollment, you go one place. If you want advisors, you go a different place. If you want continuing ed, you go to a third place. If you want to go financial aid, you go to another place. Well, all of these student services that deal with onboarding and getting enrolled are housed in the first floor west side of our building with a big welcome center. So Dr. Adil, our Dean of Students, is still working on that new model because it is a new way of thinking. But we're trying to meet the students where they are and have all of those services in one location for them. Our Learning Commons is also a shared space. Library, tutoring, our open computer lab, our Vanguard computer lab. So think of supplemental learning all in one location, and it's a beautiful space.
Brand new shiny Katy campus open for business. First class is starting this summer. They got a full fall ahead of them, and I'm sure you're very excited about that, Kathy.
We are. Come on out. We're open 8 to 5 right now. Classes start June 6th. We'll have later hours. Come on out, take a tour. We'll be happy to show off all the exciting features.
Thanks for being here, Dr. Kathleen Anzivino. She is the College Operations Officer for HCC's Northwest College. Thanks for being here and talking to us about the Katy campus. All right, we're going to turn things over to Alberta. And Alberta, you got a very special guest because you've got a guest from the Texas Parks and Wildlife, but you also have a puppy on the show. Not that often that we get a puppy that you can interview, but this is your chance to do so, Alberta.
Yeah, I know. I'm usually only used to seeing your puppy in the background. It's just, but yes, it's very exciting. We're moving on to John Herron, who is the park interpreter of B.A.R.K Ranger for the Huntsville State Park, which is part of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. Welcome to the show, John, and Queso, who is actually your sidekick. Am I right?
Yeah. So he's a junior B.A.R.K Ranger because he's still a puppy. We're turning a year old next week. So it is fun trying to keep his attention. So.
Well, happy early birthday to Queso. And is he the B.A.R.K Ranger or are you the B.A.R.K Ranger?
Well, I'm a park ranger. I'm a park interpreter out here. So part of my job is to run programs and basically connect our guests to the outdoors. So the B.A.R.K Ranger program was something pioneered by the National Park Service. I think he's going to explore a little bit as a way of trying to communicate and promote bring your pets out into the outdoors and being good stewards and good pet owners when in nature. And so it was pioneered about 2015 by the National Park Service, used out in Olympic National Park. And it kind of went along with the Leave No Trace principles, which is something big we like to promote out here as well. So
when you say leave no trace, you mean?
Leave No Trace is a set of outdoor ethics. There are 7 principles to Leave No Trace, and it's about preparing and planning ahead, making sure you bring with you what you need to be safe. It's about walking on durable surfaces. So, trying to keep wildlife as wild as we can and, maintaining our trails, collecting waste. A lot of people leave no trace. They look at it as making sure you don't leave any trash behind. Leave it cleaner than you found it. The 4th principle, leave what you find. So if you see something cool out there, a cool rock, a cool stick, not taking that home. Let other people enjoy those cool artifacts out there. Some are protected.
I really like that philosophy. And just to be clear, B.A.R.K, B-A-R-K, is a clever acronym to help people remember how to care for their dogs. Am I right?
Yes. So B is for bag your waste. So I always like to tell guests out here that this is home to the wildlife. So just like if you go visit somebody else's home, I wouldn't let Queso poop in their house or in their yard without cleaning it up. So same thing here. We want to make sure to bag our pets' waste when they're out. So it always helps making sure you bring along plenty of extra little poop bags for them. A is always be on leash. So we actually have rules out here for pets where they need to be on leash at all times. That is going into the R, which is to respect wildlife. So, I know Queso here is an Australian Shepherd. They're herders. So they, if he sees another wildlife out there, there's a good chance he's going to want to chase after it.
Yeah, it's natural.
And we also want to respect others. There are people out there I've met that have had negative interactions with dogs. So we want to make sure that them on leash because we don't know how they'll interact.
That's like half my family.
I've had some people, even as good as he is and as cute as he is, there are people that are absolutely terrified when they've seen him. So, and it's not just him, it's just dogs in general. And then the K is know where you can go. So here at the state parks, their dogs and pets aren't allowed inside any of our buildings. That includes our cabins, our screened shelters, park store. Of course, we do allow service animals in. There's no problem there. Some of our parks, like we're Huntsville State Park. Now, we went to go try and camp at Government Canyon, but they're a state natural area. So they're really about preserving that wildlife and protecting that wildlife. Because of that, Queso and we could hike the front country area where the camping and day use area is, but he would not be allowed into the back country on the trails. So it's knowing what those are and being respectful of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much common sense, like guidelines we as humans follow. But when we're bringing our companions out there, it's better safe than sorry to just be respectful and follow those guidelines as well.
Definitely.
So how did the program come about, the B.A.R.K program?
Again, it was National Park, and it's just trying to, how can we communicate and promote good pet ownership in the outdoors and practice leave no trace. And so they came up with the acronym of B.A.R.K and having that be an easy way to remember those principles.
Yeah. So, John, what are some additional park rules you can offer, like other than the B.A.R.K philosophy? And what are some other things that people wouldn't know to think of?
So in a state park, pets should not be in or around the swimming area. This is a bit of a safety thing, as they should be on leash. And so we don't want them getting caught on anything. It's a bit of hygienic reason as well. Now, out here at Huntsville State Park, we have a neat lake back here behind me, Lake Raven, and we have about 60 alligators in our lake. Now, while these alligators aren't aggressive towards humans, small mammals like dogs, yeah, they could definitely be aggressive and could consider, maybe I want to have a little queso snack. So definitely don't want our dogs in our water out
cheese,
here.
Chips and queso. Yeah.
Little chips and queso. I know. If he gets a brother, it's going to have to be called Chip. It's like Enchanted Rock State Natural Area. The water pools at the top of their rock are actually very sensitive ecosystems for some wildlife that's up there. So they don't allow dogs on the upper parts because they don't want the dogs interrupting those ecosystems up there. So it's always helpful to ask ahead and check with the park, see what the rules are for dogs. But yeah, those are some other things to consider.
So as far as, caring for, dogs and everything, do you have any tips to deal with the heat this summer?
Yes.
My fiance is a dog walker, and sometimes he has to cut them short because it's just so hot. And Huntsville is so close to Houston, so I'm sure it gets just as hot there.
Oh yeah, we're mid 90s a lot around here. What is kind of nice with our park is we have wonderful shade. I'm sitting under a canopy of pine trees right now, so it's wonderful. But yes, middle of the afternoon, it can get, even in the shade, really hot out here. Making sure they stay hydrated. I always make sure to have our little water bottle. He loves drinking right from the little cup in here. So that's
so cool.
handy. Oh yeah. So having something for them to drink. There has been a general rule that they need 8 ounces of water per hour. Humans, we recommend 16 ounces. This is a little Nalgene bottle. You can find these at most outdoor stores. This is 32 ounces. So for a human, this is good for 2 hours. For canine, maybe 4 hours of outdoor activity. So think about that. A lot of times I sweat a lot, I know, and I've seen him drink a lot of water. So I normally always pack extra. Guests that come out, if I ask them if they have enough water, if they hesitate, I say bring more. Taking time to sit in the shade. One of his behaviors he's picked up is every bench we go to, he has to stop, boop it with his nose, and then he waits for me to sit down. And in these hotter months, he'll sit underneath in the shade and get some water, get some pets, some treats, and it's always good. The other thing to consider is they're out in the full coat of fur. They don't sweat. And the other thing to look for is they're walking around barefoot. So you want to remember the surfaces, and there's a 5-second rule, which means if you take the back of your hand and lay it on the surface, if it's too hot to hold for 5 seconds, then it's going to be too hot for them. Sometimes I recommend to people that if it's too hot for you to be barefoot, it's probably too hot for them to be barefoot.
And are there any ways around that? Like, let's say that, had to take them out, you had to take them for a walk. Is there any ways around that?
It's picking your times, early mornings, late evenings. We love going to the dog park after work when it's gotten a little cooler and we'll hang out in the shade. Again, mornings can be helpful. I mean, if you have to get out in the afternoons, look for grass, try to avoid the concrete. For excursions, there are some people that'll get them they make dog boots. which, dogs, they anything they get introduced to new takes time to adjust. So if you can introduce them to boots at home, it is funny watching their first reactions to having boots on their feet, but not out in the wild. But
they're like, well, how do you guys wear these things?
Yeah.
But thank you so much, John.
My pleasure.
I would like to see him in some boots. Like, I would love a picture. But thank you so much for joining us today, John, the park interpreter of B.A.R.K Ranger for Huntsville State Park. It was so nice having you on.
Yeah, you can follow us on social media. I'm on live at our Facebook page on Saturdays, and B.A.R.K Ranger, he's on Instagram at B.A.R.K Ranger Queso.
Awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
We'll have all of the information about the B.A.R.K Ranger program at the end of the show.
All right. Thanks, Alberta, and B.A.R.K Ranger joining us live this morning. Good deal. All right. We got the B.A.R.K Ranger Junior here. She had to see the dog. So that's what that's all about. All right. Okay. Open for business. Some HCC news and announcements. Can you move along now? Okay. You've gotten your FaceTime. Say goodbye. All right. Okay. All right. So open for business. Bridge path credit. Try saying that fast. According to the SBA, poor credit history is one of the main reasons why loan applications for small businesses are often declined. It can also impact insurance rates and affect how your business looks to suppliers and vendors. So HCC's Open for Business program will host a presentation on the importance of cultivating good personal credit, fixing your credit history, and how to apply to get business credit. So we've got a speaker, Marina Perez. She is the Chief Executive Education and Development at the Bridge Path. She's going to be appearing 1 to 2:30 p.m. today. You can check her out online. It's a virtual presentation. We'll have some registration on some information on how to register in our post after the show. And there's also a media arts student showcase going on, Alberta, and it's going on online through August.
Yes, it is. So we have the Media Arts Student Showcase for Spring 2022. And this is the end of the semester YouTube compilation of screening that includes student projects from filmmaking, audio recording, technology, and music business programs. And this will be from now until August 15th on YouTube. And registration is not required for this event, but we'll have the contact information after the show.
Okay, STEM Summer Camp. It's district-wide. HCC's community learning program and Texas A&M AgriLife is hosting STEM summer camps to promote the brand new Katy campus that we were just talking about. They have a drone and Swift coding camp that is happening June 27th through July 1st. And that's happening at HCC's Southwest Stafford campus. So make sure you check that out. You will, if you'd like to send your kids to that, we'll have a link in our post after the show. And congratulations to our commencement cover winner.
Yes, so we have for this year's graduation, HCC called on students to share their artistic skills to design the cover of the 2022 commencement program. And our students answered, and one in particular named Paulina Curbs produced the winning entry and will receive an iPad for her efforts. Congratulations, Paulina, and a job well done on your artistic endeavors. So especially on this important ceremony for the grads first year back on stage. That's right. Congrats to her. Okay. Evening ESL classes are now available. ESL, as English as a second, try saying that again. English as a second language. There we go. Those classes are now available in ESL Intensive English program at HCC's A-Leaf Hayes and West Loop campuses. The program offers 2 levels, advanced, intermediate, and advanced, to prepare students for success in their academic or certificate programs. Daytime, on-campus, and online classes are also available for summer and fall registration. Register right now. Now's the time to register. We'll have a link after the show where to go. And, we mentioned summer classes at the brand new Katy campus. They're starting this summer and they're happening district wide, but you have to register now because the first classes start June the 6th. And then Alberta fall classes
or if you want to register for those, you can do that too.
Yeah, you got to do it now, though, because they are ready for registration. It has begun, and you can do the online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid classes in person, and you can also do a hybrid lab. So get ready to find all of the courses you need because it is now time to register.
Okay, we're going to wrap up today's show, but tomorrow on the show, if you are a film student, you'll definitely want to tune in because we've got Film Friday with local filmmaker Ebony Powell. And we're also, Alberta, continuing our tribute to the month of May for AAPI.
Yeah, so we will continue our tribute to Asian American Pacific Islander Month by featuring HCC's Anna Go of the Continuing Education Department, who will talk to us about new engineering classes.
All right. Yes, all of that tomorrow. And we'll be back live then. Alberta, thanks for joining us today. We will see you again shortly, and we'll see all of you live tomorrow, 10 a.m., right here for Up to the Minute.